Okay, let's talk with Angel about the SL9. Joe Dark. That's a name I'll not soon forget. We trailed him for half a year. Oh, the pressure. Wait, so... Okay, Gumshoe previously told us... Dark ran somebody over, then killed somebody who saw that, then killed somebody who saw that thing, and then killed somebody there, and when he tried to hide them all on a jogging trail, he killed the jogger. That sounds more like a killing spree that took place over a course of a few hours, and not, you know, multiple killings over the course of half a year. And then he also said shortly after he turned himself in. So, either she's off with how long it took, or Dark actually killed these people in a killing spree, then managed to avoid police interrogations and everything like that for 6 months before he decided, you know what, I should really turn myself in. Or... what about the people he killed? Were they considered missing? Were they found immediately? When did they ever find them? What? Still, I don't think I was ever more alive than I was then. Those days were steamier than a bowl of hot gravy. Okay, she must have really hot gravy then, cause, I don't know. My bowls of hot gravy generally don't steam that much. Poor old Jake Marshall, though, must have been going through hell. You mean because of his brother's death? They were close, those two. After Neil died, something took over Jake. He became obsessed. With SL9, which ended after his brother was killed. Seeing Jake like that made her all the more desperate. Her? Lana Skye. That bitch. I needed naked... comforting. Not just Jake. My sister? The best of the best were put on that SL9 case. Of course they were led by that legendary duo. Lana and Chief Gant? Sure, let's talk about the legendary duo. Damon Gant and Lana Skye. 2 years ago, Gant was chief detective and Lana second in command. They were the best. Didn't we get told that he was vice chief of the department? Nah. They solved all kinds of cases together, didn't they? Damon Gant's magnetism in particular was almost unreal. His magnetism? Yes, he was very appealing to people who swarmed around him like flies to manure. By that I mean his ability to attract evidence. Of course, let's redefine what a word means, no problem. He produced the most incredible evidence in the cases he handled. Incredible evidence? You mean... oh yes, there were rumors about him even back then. So, to summarize, even before SL9 there were rumors that there was some forging going on the prosecution, police side, whatever. And after SL9 there were rumors about Edgeworth. Considering there were rumors about forging before Edgeworth came around, why did nobody come up with the idea, hey, you know what? I think that Edgeworth guy is an unwitting pawn, and somebody else was there first who did all the forging. I mean, what? No one dared confront him, though. Why not? I take it she's talking about forged evidence. You think? Back then, everyone looked up to Lana. All the detectives wanted to be like her. Really? Oh yes, myself included. I was a fool, really. It was just a high school girl crush and nothing more. She hated anything crooked and always watched out for the other detectives. That's why she was so concerned for Jake. Mr. Marshall? When Jake's brother was murdered, she felt as if she had lost her own brother. No, she can't have! Spoilers! Reason why, Lana changed so much was because of SL9. Once SL9 ended, she was the cold bitch everybody says she is now. This type of cold bitch would not have in any way given any comfort to Jake. Because if she did, she would have been nice and then she wouldn't have changed. 1 second, I need to drink something. So really, there's no way that she could have, I don't know, comforted Jake, who got obsessed over SL9 after his brother was killed, despite the case ending with his brother's death. I know he wasn't, really sure about, how the case ended and if everything went down fine. But they make it sound like he got obsessed to end the case after his brother's death. Which, as I said, happened with his brother's death. If it wasn't for her, I don't think Jake would ever have recovered from his shock. Yeah, he certainly seems A-okay now with the comforting he totally got. That's what makes it all the more infuriating. Miss Star, would you stop interrupting these people, telling them their names all the time? I know who they're talking about. That's why I'll never be able to forgive her. Why did she have to turn so cold after that? That legendary pair was the reason we were able to keep up our investigation. That's why we're so shocked over how it turned out. You mean with the forging of the evidence? Don't get me wrong, Joe Dog got what he deserved. Still, it was obvious the evidence produced in court was being manipulated. So it was obvious, and yet still nobody said anything. Items our team never found would suddenly appear, while other items were kept secret. What items? What evidence? First you say you don't have anything decisive, then you say you're desperate for anything. Now Jake says that you sort of had evidence, but then you don't really have evidence. And the jar shards are going to be even worse later on. Also, glove. Already served its purpose. Actually has nothing to do with SL9. They could have tagged in anything else. Jesus Christ! You people need to learn what is evidence, what is not. But you didn't have proof anything illegal was done. I'm proof enough of what happened. After that case, all of us save Goodman were relieved of our duties. Most without him so much as an explanation. Then Lana Skye transferred to the prosecutor's office and became chief prosecutor. Lana always wanted to be a prosecutor. Nothing's quite as simple as it appears. Lana Skye was merely being used as a pawn. That's my take on the matter. She was being used. Lana transferred to the prosecutor's office 2 years ago, didn't she? Yes, thanks to Chief Gant's powerful influence. Chief! Shut up, Emma. That's right. Having solved the SL9 case, his position as chief was secured. There was only one thing left for him to control, and then no one could stand in his way. The prosecutor's office. What? You mean that's why Lana was transferred? If he could control the chief prosecutor, he could control the prosecutor's office. That must have been his goal all along. But how could he control Lana? I don't know, but one thing's for sure. Ever since that case ended, she's never been the same. It's only logical to conclude there must have been a reason for her to change. At last, I'm finally getting closer to the bottom of this ugly mess. Unfortunately, no, we still have 2 stupid testimonies to go through, and the final showdown, which is dragged on. Yeah, I still have a few videos to go through. Thank you, Miss Star. You listen to me, rookie. It takes more than just ingredients to create fine cuisine. I hope you should not be a better chef than I've been. Considering your cooking. Here's the thing I've wanted to do. Oh, come on! Just have him stand there already. No, you're back. You're still here? Well, I gotta make 150 copies of these files. Brewing coffee, copying files. I'm turning into a regular DJ. You're a DJ as well? If I'm not mistaken, I think he means desk jockey. Oh, that DJ! At least he isn't a BJ. I gotta admire your persistency, but my answer's still no. I'm not letting you in the chief's office, period. I'd be my neck on the line. That office is the last crime scene in the SL9 incident. I have to take a look in there. There's got to be something we can do to make the detective change his mind. Due to recent events, I hereby announce my resignation as public prosecutor. He really wrote a resignation letter. Wow, even when resigning, Mr. Edgeworth is cool and concise. Still, it wasn't his fault. Someone has to be held responsible. That's how it is in the grown-up world. Yeah, but that responsibility means nothing if he just quits. Well, not everyone sees it that way. To truly take responsibility, you have to work the rest of your life for no pay. Sometimes the grown-up world can be tough. I do like that signature. It seems like he just wrote Miles. What's this crumpled up piece of paper? No way! Mr. Edgeworth can't be serious. Is he ever not serious? I can't believe they've pushed him to this extent. Mr. Edgeworth really feels responsible. At first I thought he was as cold as ice. He's as cold as ice! But now I know different. He trusted us detectives to provide him with sound evidence. But we broke our bond of trust! We betrayed him. Detective. That's it. I've made up my mind. But... Here, take my ID card. You can't do that. If someone found out... They won't let you off the hook with another lost item report. Look at me. It's no secret I'm already out of the loop. After all, I'm friends with Mr. Edgeworth. Depending on how this case turns out, I may already be as good as terminated. What? So at least let me do this, for Mr. Edgeworth's sake. Alright, detective. Thank you. Oh man, Gumshoe's like the only other character next to Edgeworth that I still like in these games. You're a good guy, Gumshoe, you're a good guy. Here goes, Mr. Wright. Open sesame! If anyone finds us now... Detective Gumshoe's a goner. And if that happens, I'm counting on you to bail me out. sorry. I thought you were a ghost. Emma, you're a scientific investigator. What? Did your scientific investigations prove to you that ghosts exist and they are susceptible to high school girl slaps? I didn't even know you could slap a ghost. Oh, Detective Gumshoe! What are you doing sneaking up on this like that? I totally wasn't paying attention. What? Yes, I'm totally in the scene now, yes. I wasn't sneaking. I was just worried something might go wrong. So I came too. If you're here, what's the point of giving us your ID card? To prove that he's a really nice guy. Oh, dude! At least give it back! Hey, don't do that to my card! I hardly ever get a chance to come in here, so I figured I'd have a look around myself. Besides, we're all in this together now. You really do want to get fired, don't you? By the way, I'm currently distracted by something red on the ceiling on that... There's something red on the ceiling there. Or on the wall behind Emma. No, not if we're lucky. Come on, let's see what we can find out. I've got a bad feeling about this. Huh? It was here. Look to the left, right above Gumshoe's hair. There's a red spot there. But... it's not there. What? This is another inconsistency of the SL9 case? By the way, this is a pretty impressive office. You know, it fits the whole this is for the chief of police, but he had it when he was, you know, vice chief of a department. But whatever. Whoa! This hair must have been covered in blood! Is this from that incident? It must be when Prosecutor Marshall was murdered. 2 years have passed, so the reaction's kind of dull. So a murder really did take place here. Spoilers, this area should actually light up, but... well, according to people on a forum, there are certain strong chemicals that can remove blood beyond the detection of luminol, so... yeah. Not that big of a deal. Oh, whatever. This was taken on that day 2 years ago. The day Joe Dark ran out of the questioning room and tried to kill Emma. After receiving his reward of trophy, Mr. Marshall took a picture here, then went along with Chief Gant to question Dark. I bet he never knew he'd be dead just a few hours later. Gee, you think? These shelves are mostly empty. Lana must have cleaned them out when she transferred over to the prosecutor's office. And Gant kept the furniture here for... sentimental reasons. There's a small picture frame on the left shelf. Hey! This is when Lana and I went to that theme park! Yeah, your sister dislikes you so much now that she totally doesn't even want a picture of you around. The Chief's orchid sure is a sight to behold. Oh, you guys with your super text and innuendos. Occasionally we hear him playing it from the Criminal Affairs Department. That's on the 2nd floor, and this is the 15th. Don't look out the window! When a detective screws up, the chief calls him to his office and makes him listen to the organ for hours. What's so bad about that? Music soothes the soul! After that, the detective can't hear anything for days except for the ringing in his ears. So it's an instrument of punishment. Literally. But aren't the chief's ears affected? He never listens to anyone anyway. That's beside the point. Wow! Look at the size of Chief Gant's desks! Speaking of that, when we were here earlier... I wonder what he was reading. This looks like a list of evidence used in a case. A list of evidence? In most cases the list runs twice as long as this. Hey, look at the case name! Oh my god, it's DL6! SL9 incident. I wonder what this is doing here. Hold on, detective. What did you just say? Huh? I said I wonder what... No, about evidence lists. Normally they're twice as long? That's right. I guess there wasn't a lot of evidence. A half-sized list of evidence. That list of evidence, it seems too short. Most lists run twice as long. And I already pointed out, considering the imprecise idea of how much evidence there was to begin with, it makes sense that it was a short list. I knew it! The chief must be hiding something about that case! It would appear so. By the way... There's something there. We're gonna have to deal with that later. This is the real deal, isn't it? The armor and the weapon? Sure is, pal. The chief doesn't care for imitations. First the pipe organ, now this armor. Do you know how many taxpayer dollars must have gone into this room? What? You mean we're paying for this? That's it. I'm not paying 1 cent of my taxes. You don't have any taxes to pay. Shh. Be careful what you say. Who knows? The chief may be hiding in his armor as we speak. I don't think he'd fit in there. Even if he did, he'd never be able to get back out. Cut it out. You guys don't know how scary that guy can be. You can see pretty far from 15 stories up. If you were to drop that suit of armor from here... At first the chief wanted to use stained glass for his window. Of course he did! He's totally a Christian and whatnot religious. Really? Why didn't he? They say he changed his mind because he wouldn't be able to see the view. Oh. Stained glass or not, it's a huge window. This is the safe, isn't it? Also, yes, I just took a screen cap. Safe. That word is ripe with intrigue. Okay, if you say so. It looks like a code needs to be entered in this panel to open it. A 7-digit number. I think I just might know what it is. Do you know what it is? I have a hunch. Oh, I know. You want to try my birth date? It's... I want to know his birth date! I have a better idea. Here goes nothing. Duh. Well, Gant is an old fart like the judge, and those aren't very generally savvy in terms of electronics, so... Bingo!
What number did you enter?
Whose birthday was it, pal? Septuple 7, the final ID card number on that record.
What?
The number of the mysterious executive officer who entered the room that day. You mean 77777? That ID number? I think you're 1 7 shy this time. This can only one thing. That's Chief Gant's ID number. I know, 'cause I'm also the type who uses the same number everywhere, so I don't have to remember it. My password for my email is password2.
Say, anyone care to look inside?
I don't want to look inside you, but I'll look inside the safe. That's the type of box I don't mind looking at. Is there any money in there? How much does he have stashed away?
Look, it's
a shard from a broken cup. This somehow looks familiar. Where have I seen this before?
There's something else in here too.
What's this? Looks like a piece of leather.
This is a handprint, isn't it?
Hey, I saw someone wearing a shirt like that once. You think the chief made up the design?
I don't think so.
Oh, well, it was just a thought.
Is that it? This is all that was in the safe?
Apparently so. It's empty now. A piece of cloth with a handprint on it, and a broken shard from a cup. They look like pieces of evidence, but unless you can prove they have something to do with this case, I'm afraid I can't let you take them. After all, it's my neck on the line here. Great, now I have to prove their relevancy to get them.
How are these two items related to the SL9 incident? Come on, there's got to be something we could show the detective.
There he is. I'm not quite awake yet. Detective Gumshoe, could you have another look at the jar? All of us put that back together. Oh, those were the days. It's kind of early to be nostalgic. Screw you, Phoenix! I don't go for nostalgia!
Wasn't this jar a piece of evidence from that case?
That's right. One of the shards had an SL9 incident sticker on it.
Doesn't this ring any bells? You know, that fragment we just found?
You mean this one that was in the safe?
Yes, that one. That was in the safe.
Now that you mention it, it's ringing a lot of bells. Let's see if it fits. Yeah, let me see that try. I'll take a crack at this. Go ahead, pal. Show us what a rookie can do.
Mr. Wright, here's some glue!
If I can piece this together again, it'll prove Chief Gant was knowingly hiding evidence. Here goes. Oh boy, which way do I put this? This is so hard. There! Fits like a charm. That of course means Chief Gant willingly and knowingly hid a piece of this jar in the safe. In other words, he concealed a piece of evidence from the SL9 incident.
But...
Hey guys, get a load of this. What is it? This piece are just attached. It's different from the others. Oh boy, wonder what that could mean.
There's a reddish line on it.
Reddish line. I guess the uterus jar is having its period. I don't get it. Why would Chief Gant hide this in a safe? For a really dumb reason. Detective Gumshoe, I'd like you to have a look at this. Hey, I know what that is. So you want to take some fingerprints?
That's a great idea, Detective.
Alright, go to town. Sheesh. What are you doing? Why are you sticking out your hand like that? Go ahead, take my fingerprints.
It's not your fingerprints we want to take.
Come on, this isn't the type for jokes. We're talking about the claws we found in the safe. Oh, I knew that. The one with the handprint on it, right? Sheesh, where's the sense of humor?
Okay, Mr. Wright, let's check for prints. Sprinkle the powder on the cloth. Then, once it's been absorbing the prints, blow the rest away.
What are you, my mom? I don't have to be told a million times. Why didn't you say this out loud in an attempt to stop everybody from repeating stuff that I already know? Alright, let's get this over with. I concur. Oh, the game again thinks that the microphone isn't attached properly. You think that's it? That looks similar. How can this be? What are Emma's fingerprints doing here?
Hey, you found a match? Whose fingerprints were they?
Huh? Seems the prints are too old. They aren't clear enough to get a match.
Oh, that's too bad. I thought they'd be Dark's prints.
Hey, over here. What's going on here? What are that kid's prints doing inside the chief's safe?
Don't ask me.
Let's just keep this information from Emma for now. Here, maybe you should hold on to this.
This is a handprint, right?
Yeah, someone left behind an oil stain on the fabric. Whoever it was, they must have had a really oily hand.
Mr. Wright, think about it scientifically. A more likely explanation is the person slipped and fell on the freshly waxed floor, getting wax all over their hand.
Well, that would account for this amount of oil, I guess. I don't see what's so scientific about it, though.
It happens, you know. I always slip on floors at school after they're waxed.
Well, you gotta watch out how you fucking walk then, you moron.
Hey, look here! It's hard to make out, but there's a dark red stain here.
There are dark red stains all over that thing. Looks like blood.
This piece the thief has is different, though. The blood stains on the other piece are just spots, but this one's a line.
That is odd. That desk on the other side of the room, was that your sister's?
Yes, that's where I was waiting for Lana. On that date 2 years ago.
Is anyone using it now? No, sir. This is entirely Chief Gant's office now. He practices a strict policy of preserving the crime scene. Hey! Look above Gumshoe again. There's another red spot above him. Might be a design thing? But then why does it disappear when I click the examine button? Nah. That's a strange reason to leave it there. He leaves it as a warning to everyone else. He wants us to always be alert. He told us so himself at our New Year's party. Now, of course, he was pretty intoxicated at the time. I see.
So, ever since London left, no one ever touches that desk?
No one except Chief Gant, and the cleaning lady who's in here each morning. Still, 2 years have passed since that incident. There can't possibly be any clues remaining. Can I ask you something?
Sure.
You only came here to look around, right? Because it's one of the SL9 crime scenes. I mean, that's your only reason for coming here, isn't it?
Why do you ask?
You don't think... Nah. You wouldn't... Nah. No, there's no way. Never mind. Don't worry about it.
Okay.
Now, let's look around a bit more. Yeah, hold on. So fast, buddy.
What?
When someone says you don't worry about it, it's supposed to start bothering you, pal. You don't just let it go at that.
Sorry.
This guy's starting to get on my nerves. Okay, so what's bothering you? You two don't think Chief Gant might be a suspect to you?
What? Yeah, Mr. Wright, what do we think of him?
Chief Gant. So it's finally come to this. What do I think of him? Perhaps it's best I don't divulge my feelings yet. There he goes, ignoring me again. Well, was I any help?
Yes, you were, Gumshoe. Good boy!
Of course! Thanks to your ID card, we were able to get some hard evidence. We love hard evidence. No, that's not very kind, is it? In other words, if it wasn't for his ID card, he would have been useless. Isn't that right, you in the coat? Chief Gant! You didn't think you'd be back so soon. Fortunately, I'm a man who believes in signs. As I was walking to my meeting, I happened to look out of a window and saw a stray dog ride run into a pole. Just then I thought of a certain detective. Do you mean me, sir? Now then, I'm afraid I'm going to have to ask you all to leave.
Yes, sir. Sorry.
Oh, you in the coat. Me, sir. Drop off your ID on the way out. You won't be needing it anymore. But, sir... Now get out. Yes, sir. We'll be on our way too, then. Wait, you, the one without the spiky hair. Don't go yet.
Me, sir?
I'd like a word with you.
But sir, I am not a licensed scientific investigator yet.
You, with the spiky hair. You're free to go.
Mr. Wright!
Bye! Look, pal, if I've told you once, I've told you 1,000 times. Chief's office is off limits. But no, you just had to go sneak in there like that, didn't you? I thought you said you didn't care anymore if you were fired. Yeah, but if I knew I'd be like this, I never would have said it. Now that I've seen the evidence Chief Gant was hiding in his office, I think I'm finally starting to get the picture. Hard to believe anyone could keep quiet about this all the time. Yeah, let's all wonder how anybody can keep quiet about SL9, considering everybody fucking talks about SL9 in this case. I'm gonna try to smooth things over with the chief again. Later, pal. Good luck, Gumshoe. After that, I heard from Emma. She said the police want to ask her some questions, so she'll be busy for the rest of the day. I see. So the chief asked Emma to come in for questioning. It's no use thinking about it. Tomorrow's the final day in court. Yeah, I don't care if teenager has to deal with the crap that I pull. It's happened before, it's nothing new. I'm committed to doing everything I can to defend you, which is why I'm here. But I've already told you all I can. What you've told me over these past couple of days. There's absolutely nothing. Not a single useful thing. Well, a lot of witnesses do that. And a lot of defendants do that too. Really? I believe I did mention something quite important. Something I told you right at the beginning. I said that I was the one who stabbed Detective Goodman. You stabbed his corpse. You know, I think I finally figured it out. Who it is you're hiding behind those words. Mia did a good job mentoring you. I'm rather jealous. It seems Edgeworth was right. Edgeworth? Once you're convinced you know something, no one can persuade you otherwise. Thick-headed is the term you used, I believe. Now's my chance to get her to tell me the rest of the story. I have to admit, I was more than a little perplexed at first. You insisted you did it, yet there was no incriminating evidence. Yeah, it's not like, we had a witness who saw her stabbing him, or a blade in the body, evidence that she was there at the crime scene at the time of the murder. No evidence at all. That's when it hit me. It's not that you're unwilling to tell the truth. It's that you're incapable of doing so because of a certain individual. What an intriguing notion. A certain individual, you say? So you think I'm protecting this person? Protecting? No. I think afraid of is more like it. If I'm not mistaken, the person in question may have persuaded you to silence. For argument's sake, Mr. Wright, who, may I ask, is this person you're speaking of? The one I am supposedly so frightened of. What is this person's name? Wellness guy? Mr. Wright, you are addressing the Chief Prosecutor. Oh, am I supposed to say, what do you think, Your Majesty? Do not forget your place. I take it she's still not ready to spill the beans. My apologies. Could you please tell me a bit more about the circumstances? We were partners until 2 years ago. I respected him as a detective. Assuming he is respectable, then tell me something. Why would he try to hide his crimes? His crimes. Both you and Edgeworth will be brought before a board of inquiry for what you did. Specifically, hiding and forging evidence. Of course, these are serious offenses. Why is it, though, that Chief Gant's name was never mentioned? Chief Gant? Edgeworth didn't know the truth behind the forgery. The only party who could have possibly investigated that evidence was me. I had access because I was second in command of that investigation. Yes, you, but also one other, Damon Gant. If you intend to accuse Chief Gant, you'll need more than just words. Show me proof that Chief Gant falsified evidence in that case. Switchblade? You want proof of the Chief's wrongdoings? Here it is! That evidence proves someone is doing something wrong, all right. But it's not the Chief. Who would that be? Why, you, of course. Me? Yes. You seriously believe what you're saying, don't you? No, that's scary. You seem to have the makings of a criminal in you, what with all your fallacious accusations. Care to spend tonight in the next cell? If you ask me, you're the scary one. Bleh. I really just want to stab her with the knife and all. Either knife. I really don't care anymore. It feels... I think the only way I could actually take this part seriously if I say, like... Well... She's making sure that if Phoenix is gonna accuse Gant, then she wants to make sure that he has, you know, a good basis and all, but for me, this really just feels like prolonging something when I can just be all, I know you're being blackmailed, shut the fuck up, I'm gonna point out everything in the next day anyway. This jar piece and the strip of cloth. Do you know what these are? They're pieces of evidence from the SL9 incident. The person concealing evidence was none other than Chief Gant himself. Now tell me, why are you taking all the blame for him? Touché, Mr. Wright. It's as you surmised. I cannot disobey the Chief's orders. Even if it means being found guilty for murder. Why not? Come now, Mr. Wright. You cannot possibly expect me to be able to tell you that. 3 days ago, I had no choice but to cooperate. In the murder of Detective Goodman. Yes! Not the murderer of Jake Marshall, who apparently, sadly, is not dead. Or perhaps I should say follow orders. Yes, that's more accurate than cooperate. Although I can't tell you the details, I can say that I was given an order that day. I need you to dispose of Bruce Goodman's body. You'll find it inside the trunk of Miles Edgeworth's car. Just as I suspected. Despite what everyone believes, you were not the one who murdered Detective Goodman. Correct. I was trying to take the body out of Edgeworth's car. The trunk was broken. I discovered that murder weapon while inspecting the body. The murder weapon? You mean Edgeworth's knife? No. When I found the body, this was the knife stuck in it. The knife from the SL9 incident. Joe Dark's knife. I couldn't just leave that knife in him, so I took it out and stabbed him with another knife. That would be Edgeworth's knife? That's right. Even though he was already dead, my hands were shaking at the thought of stabbing him. That's why I ended up cutting my hand. This is gonna be pretty dumb considering what happened 2 years ago and when it's explained. And that is the reason for the bandage on your right hand. Yes, it seems I got her blood on the victim's shoe as well. And then she saw me just as I plunged the knife in. Miss Starr. Why did you need to hide Dark's knife so badly? It took a lot of work to finally close the Dark case 2 years ago. It was over with. I didn't ever want it to be opened again. My intent was to prevent that by whatever means possible. You know, considering your order was to get rid of the body, what part of that makes it sound like realize what the weapon is, remove it, put a different one in, and then get caught? I think what you were supposed to do was, like, take the body out of the trunk, maybe put it into your own car and then drive that car into the river. You know, if you got rid of the body, you'd get rid of the murder weapon as well. So, you hid Dark's knife. The weapon used to stab the detective was evidence in the Joe Dark case. If word got out, which it would, reporters would have a field day with that. So you wrapped the knife in your scarf and hid it. In Edgeworth's exhaust pipe. Yes. Then I called my sister. To tell her what happened, and to ask her to hide the knife that was inside my muffler. Again, if you got rid of the body, you could have gotten rid of the murder weapon without getting your sister into this. You asked Emma? I didn't want anyone on the force to know about this. That would explain why Emma's so confident about Lana's innocence. My sister told me to get rid of a murder weapon, so that totally means she's not a murderer? Speaking of phone calls, I had a bad feeling about one of them that day. A bad feeling?
The truth is, after I received those orders from Chief Gant, the first thing I did was make a phone call. A phone call to Patrolman Jake Marshall.
To Marshall? Why would you call him?
The lead investigator for the SO9 incident had been murdered. I wanted that fact to be kept hidden and I needed help. He was the only other person I could trust. Or at least, I thought I could trust him at the time.
This background music is so fitting to this heavy theme.
However, it seems that after I spoke to him, he went off on an escapade on his own.
Oh, you mean...
Not wanting the case to die, he decided to take things into his own hands. He disguised himself as Officer Goodman and tried to steal the evidence. He had already stolen the ID card, but it seems he still hadn't made up his mind to break into the evidence room. After my phone call, any remaining doubts he had must have disappeared.
So your phone call caused the incident in the evidence room? And Jake Marshall, upon learning that the guy whose ID card he stole was dead, he figured, yes, best thing for me to do is dress up as the person that I totally know is dead by now, use their card, which would leave evidence making people think that the guy is still alive and using the card, and be dressed up as him on camera. What? I mean, I get him being, you know, not wanting the case to die, I have nothing against that, but he had 2 years worth of time. Did he not think of any other way to get the damn evidence? Did he ask Goodman? He probably did. But what else did he do? Did he try anything else over the other 2 years? Considering he's all fuck my job, and he doesn't really seem that into the SL9 case to begin with, makes it kinda hard to believe that he did try anything. And even then, he steals the ID card on the day of the evidence transferal, and is going to think of going in on the day when there are a lot of policemen actually walking around with evidence and everything. And that guy's the guard man. I know he's terrible with machines, but there's an off switch, I'm sure, or he could unplug the cameras, and then he could have still gotten in. Sure, he would have probably been stopped by the locker, but there wouldn't have been a damn video. Marshall's plan was dumb. Oh, thank God the theme stopped.
I'm afraid that's all I can tell you. But Lana... You've earned my respect, Mr. Wright, both as a defense attorney and an investigator.
I'm only one of those.
Now please, don't pursue this any further in court tomorrow. Tomorrow's trial. There's only one way to drive off Lana's demons. I've got to get to the bottom of everything. Detective Goodman's real murderer. And what went down in the chief's office 2 years ago